Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Let's make it a little more louder. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Oh, if your students say like this, good morning, how do you feel? Good. Let it be more cheerful. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. That's good. Okay. I'm Shruti, and today we'll be having a workshop related to leadership, and as ma'am told about all the agendas. To start with, we'll start with a very fine story, rather a true story, and this story is more or less related to everyone's life and more importantly, teachers' life. Okay? So, this is a story about a fighter pilot named Mr. Charles Brown. He was a hero in Vietnam War in USA. Okay? So, why he was a hero? Because he has flown 74 successful missions during the War of Vietnam and in USA. For his 75th mission, when he was about to fly, the fighter pilot, and he was all determined that he will also get succeeded in this mission as well. But, as you say, in the war, there is no certainty. His plane was shot, and as according to protocols, he opened his parachute. Parachute was well opened, and what happened? He landed where? In the enemy territory. According to the rules, क्या हुआ वहाँ पे? What happened? In the this enemy territory has made him prisoner of war for 6 long years. SST teachers would know this, right? Okay, I'm getting nodding from the SST teachers. Yes. So he was prisoner there, and he was there for 6 long years. Once he was freed, and then he went back to USA, started his life like a normal citizen of the country. One fine day, he was just dining alone and having his leisure time in one of the fine restaurants. While he was taking his dinner, one person was continuously staring at him, and he was very uncomfortable. You are eating alone and somebody is staring at you, you become uncomfortable. But still, he continued. That gentleman approached this fighter pilot and said that, are you Mr. Charles? He said, yes, I am. Are you the same Mr. Charles who has given 74 successful missions during the war? He said, yes. Are you the same Mr. Charles who was shot during the 75th war? He said, yes. Then he said, how do you know so much about me? I don't know you. आप मुझे इतना कैसे जानते? Then we said that, very sure that you don't know me, but I know you very well. I am the same sailor who used to pack parachute every time in your plane while you flew. I am sure that I have done my job very efficiently because you are alive. Parachute would have opened very well. You are alive here. At that time, the pilot was under a guilt that how I didn't know him. And at the same time, full of gratitude for that person because अगर वो अपना काम अच्छे से नहीं करता, if he would have failed to do his job, then he would not have been sitting there. So he thanked him, and at the same time, the guilt conscience was more that how I failed to know this person. I would have seen him every day during my service. We are very sure everybody know about that fighter pilot, Mr. Charles. He is a hero. But do you think that a parachute packer was nowhere less than a hero? Right? He was doing his job very efficiently. And since he was doing his job efficiently, the fighter pilot could survive. We, the educators, the teachers, are the parachute packers in the life of our student. The name, fame, all the credits our students take because we are doing our job effectively and efficiently. We are the true heroes in the life of our student. It's just a matter of click and time that they will realize that since my teacher of grade 5 has done her job very efficiently. That's why I'm a person who am I. Take any name, any successful person or whatever person, we are the most impactful creature in the life of the student. So I welcome all the heroes of our upcoming nation and let's give a big round of applause for ourselves first. And let's take a pledge that we will be a very regular, everyday, the parachute packer of our students' life because we don't know if we fail to do our job efficiently, which day that parachute won't open for our child, and we will then regression will be the last thing. Correct? So, with this thing and welcoming the heroes of our society, I would like to give the mic to the founder of Arise Academy Global, Mr. Ashish Sabu.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
It has to be with much more warmth. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How can you enjoy your class when you find a very low energy? So let's again have a wonderful good morning again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Fantastic. So honestly speaking, before every time stepping into the hall full with teachers, it actually made me very intimidated. It actually made me very intimidated. In fact, the real fact is, I am a very ordinary teacher, and with a just thought process, if some value addition I can make it out in the difference of students' life, in the difference of teachers' life, that is something as I count my blessings in the life. So with this, a wonderful auspicious time of Ganesh Chaturthi, right, and with a wonderful opportunity I got through the director sir, from the principal sir, to spend some time with you guys, I believe that it could be an opportunity which can make a lot of change in my life as well as your life too. Do you agree with me? Are you with me today?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, before I proceed further, before I start, let me request you something. Shruti spoke a wonderful story. Fighter, the captain Char, he could save the life because of some person packed the parachute in a very correct way. Right or not? It's a small job, but he did it so fantastically well that he was sure that my pilot will remain at the safer zone. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, let us take a small example. Suppose to go for an adventurous journey and we decide to, take a jump from say 5 kilometers from the ground, right? So how you take that jump? You carry some safety precaution. What is that safety precaution? The parachute, right or not? Suppose you go out in the rain carrying the umbrella, right or not? What's the job of umbrella? What's the job of role of parachute? It's to save you, right? Umbrella will save you from rain and parachute will save your life. Both of it will not function if it remain closed. Consider umbrella or parachute as our mind. It won't going to work if we remain in a very closed mode. So can I have an humble request to every audience today? Keep your mind like a parachute. I think in last many seminars, this is one of the very short workshop I am conducting, because usually the workshop goes for a day long or so, but valuing the time, we have a very limited time, and some of the good outcome I wanted to draw today, what I always say is, no one loves to eat corn, everyone loves to eat popcorns, yes or no? So if today, with next 1 or 2 hours, if it gives an opportunity to both of us, if we can move from corn to popcorn, I think that will be the success parameter we will be counting today. Now to get from corn to popcorn, we have to keep our mind like a parachute, right? We have to remain open. This is a wonderful opportunity of learning. It is not just I'm going to bring something new to your life. I'm sure as a teacher, you are already very much through with everything what I'm going to speak to you. There is not a single thing which will make any new wording for you. But the only difference is, it's like every day we do brush, right or no? Every day we take the bath, yes or no? Similarly, every day in our life, we need to get the revision. When I am speaking to you, it is helping me to revise to do something better in my life. I am sure the same you will also reciprocate. Yes? So, with the teachers' workshop, particularly when we are involved with the students' workshop or with the teachers' workshop, the teacher, most of the time they feel, yeah, again, one of my Saturday today will going to get spoiled up. If I would got the leave little early, I would be enjoying with someone in the family. So, honestly, see, neither.
Just to add over there, it's not that you're taking away my 2 hours away. Because otherwise that would have been my 2 hours over here with the session with them.
Absolutely.
So they would have still had to be here.
So, so that is the thanks which I am going to give my thanks message at the end. I will not able to express in the form of words, but in sentiments I will never forget that such a value addition time you have provided to me. And this Saturday with 2 hours time, believe me, will going to make a difference in your life. Now anyway, do you have an opportunity to run out of this room? No. Sir is sitting over here, right? In case if he would not be here. So let's give this time what we are investing today.
So today I have been promoted to a gatekeeper also. Thank you.
So as what Modi ji says, कि मैं इस भारत देश का
Chokidar.
चौकीदार हूँ. So become a chai wala and chowkidar is nowadays a very prestigious thing in everyone's life. So I believe that this time what we are investing today, very nicely it has been depicted in Gita also, कि इंसान या तो करेगा या नहीं करेगा. हर क्षण हर पल में there is only 2 things. हम करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे. अगर हम करेंगे तो अच्छा करेंगे या बुरा करेंगे. Right or not? So anyway, we are going to put the time together. What only thought process before I start with the journey I wanted to carry with all of you is how well we can keep our mind like a parachute which is fully open, and let's work it out together. If something in our life today can make corn to popcorn, so that kind of a value addition we will do it for rest of the life. That will also help me to get a wonderful bondage with each and every one of you, because as a friend, today probably we are seeing each other first time, but as a friend, I wanted to carry this relationship with you throughout the life, that you recall me that there is some person who came once and he made me to, get that popcorn from the corn, right? So with that thought process, I wanted to carry ahead, so it won't be a kind of a I tell you, it will be something good learning objective for all of us, and we will find it interesting also. It's very nicely said that knowing is not everything. Revision brings the perfection. So everything what you already know, I am just a master who will be just revising in your life as well as my life. A good leader never stops learning, and a great leader never stops teaching. So by this words, I believe we all are actually a leader, a person with seeing us, we are actually the role model. If I ask you a simple question, which is the time when you feel you are a leader? Let me take some few feedbacks. When you feel you are a leader, or what you feel, what a leader should be. Confidence is one of the things, wonderful. Madam, when you feel that, what is the skills of leader, or when you feel like, yes, I am a leader.
Leader is one with full of confidence, knowledge, and who can lead properly.
Absolutely.
Taking all of them together.
Wonderful. Taking all of them together, leading the group with a lot of confidence.
So then I guide my students. At that moment I feel that yes, I am working as a leader.
Wonderful. Great. So when I take my audience, my students with me, I feel, yes, I am one of the leaders.
Be a good team worker.
Good team worker. Anyone from this side?
Sir, I believe that interpersonal skills are very important for a leader.
Interpersonal skills are very important for the leader. And I said, when you feel you are a leader, When you feel you are a leader, anyone want? Yes, please.
Sir, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way.
Wonderful, excellent. Give a round of applause to him.
When your actions inspire others to do something new, you
Yeah.
are a leader.
Perfect, wonderful. Now, when you feel you are a leader, the moment you decide you are a leader, you are a leader. There is a no time. The life is made to achieve, learning is every day. Every moment of the life is about learning. Confidence, you won't get that. There is no injection wherein I can inject and I will say, now you become confident. The moment you think you are a leader at that moment itself. There is no golden time in anyone's life which says, now I am a leader. Right? The same context I always carry how I should be a good teacher. I share you a small incident of mine. The first job of everyone's life is something which everyone remember. And the first day of your job, I don't think anyone forget in the whole life. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yes? We all remember that. So my first day of my job was as a teacher. I was one of the youngest faculty, got admitted to BITS Pilani. I'm sure all of you have heard about BITS Pilani. So the time when I got inducted into it, so its ranking was above even IIT. So there was a lot of pressure on me to really do a good performance on the day one. And I was a good scholar during my academics. So when I stepping into the classroom, the first day, with the graduates sitting in the class, I was full with the knowledge. There was no second thought about it. But I had never been as a teacher, I had never been exposed in the teaching job. So what I did a lot of bombardment of my knowledge. I just wanted to show to all my students there, see, if you have cracked BITSET exam, so if you are considering yourself to be one of the bright student of the nation, don't take me other way around. I am equally bright. Yeah, I have full of knowledge. And then it happened, with a lot of energy I started, and then you don't have to take actually the feedback every time. Yes or no? You don't have to ask how you are feeling. Your eye shows everything to me. Right or not? As a teacher, you don't have to keep asking. The eye speaks everything about all the actions, what we are doing. By the end of my class, the class duration in the college time is almost 1 hour 20 minutes lecture. So by the end of the class, so in Pilani, even the sister is going up today also, that for a particular subject, there is not one faculty which is assigned. For every subject, there are multiple faculties. So it's like in a theatre hall, you have 10 screens and all the 10 screens are running the same movie. It's your choice which hall you have to get into. So what I am going to teach in my class is not something which only I am going to do. There are parallel teachers also doing the same job. And there is no such restrictions that you have to sit in this class only or you have to give attendance in this class only. In Pilani, or even if you see the foreign education system, they don't have any kind of a reservations or restrictions. They give you the freedom. So it's all about, on the same day, there are 4 Heroes movie got released. So first day, probably by luck, you will get into either the Shah Rukh or Akshay or Ranbir, whichever you like. But the next time, the next visit to your theatre will definitely from the word of mouth. The one who has given you name among Shah Rukh, Akshay, Ranbir or these film stars, this movie is doing good. Right or not? So similarly in the college also, every day is a fight for the teacher. So the next day when I entered, stepping into my class, I saw the strength was not even 20%. And then I realized that there was something big messed up I have done in my class. Do you agree with me? Can someone tell me what was the mess I did in my class? What was that, the bad thing I did in my class? What was that? What was something which I have missed? Yes. What was that? I committed the mistake in my class. Exactly. I had bombarded all my knowledge without realizing the fact that as a teacher, my job is not of bombarding the knowledge. My job is not to bombard the knowledge. And that is where a big difference it has created. Later on, the scene went to a different direction. My academic director in the Pilani, they called me. Before asking me, Ashish, we were going to throw you out of the institute. They were very polite and decent because parallelly I was doing my PhD also and I was working on one of the project which was fully funded by Government of India. So no one can allow me to move out of that project because I was a very key person for them. But yes, in the language he has conveyed to me, if you don't improve your teaching skills, if you don't improve on your teaching style, probably it will be tough for you to carry ahead in this profession. And the same is today also. If we are just stepping into the class with the objective of just bombardment of our knowledge, probably it will never help us to make corn to popcorn. All our students, all our audience who are there in the class, they are here to learn. They come with some learning objective. There is a wonderful artistic way of connecting with our student. So as a teacher, it's on the two pillars. We all are through with that. Yes or no? And the two pillars are definitely the knowledge. You cannot substitute the knowledge, but at the same time, the delivery of the knowledge has to be the very artistic way. Now, I'm not going to tell you what is that artistic skill you need to build in your life. I'm not going to tell you. Because no one in the world can teach this artistic skills to you. The only person who can teach how to deliver the lecture is you. You are your own teacher. You are your own teacher. And I always say, keep reviving your internal teacher. Keep reviving your internal teacher. The moment you think you are a leader, you are the leader. The moment you get into the class and you keep a thought in your mind that let my today class be one of the best class I have ever given in my life. I tell you, अगर खुदा भी आ जाए तो वो आपकी क्लास को किसी तरह खराब नहीं होगी. And that creates a big difference in individual life as well as the kind of responsibility which we all are empowered of making the changes in the life of the student. We are the original and our students are the Xerox of it. Or Xerox of it. True or not? Very difficult for anyone to come and tell, see, in the class you teach this, you teach that, you do this, you do that. But the moment you realize internally, as a kind of responsibility that I have to keep evolving myself because my class today should be one of the best in the life, probably no one can stop. You will see whether one is so-called a good teacher or someone an average teacher or someone is below average teacher. It's not basically on the kind of knowledge content only, but it is also based on your emotional connect with the students. How well you are caring, that is also art. How well you are nurturing, that is the art. When, as a teacher, I feel it should always give the feeling of a farmer. We all have seen farmer in our life. Yes? What farmer do? Everyone knows it, right or not? Sometime when the weeds comes in, the farmer get up early in the morning and make sure he pluck out all the weeds so that his plant remains safe. He fertilizes. He water the plants. He plow the soil. And he keep doing all the activities so that the plant get nurtured. The same thought process of nurturing our young generation, that ownership comes to us. Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That ownership of holding that responsibility, the best thing is think as a farmer. Think as a farmer. In today's workshop, with a very limited time. My objective, although I have made a 360-degree circle, but I am very sure I will not able to cover even 90%, 90 degree of my circle. But I will try, if today's session can give you some energy. Motivation is one of the thought process which I always carry. Because I know if a child remains motivated and if the teachers or every human being remain motivated, everyone will be the next so-called a successful person. One small story I add over here. All of you have heard about Edison, Thomas Edison? Who was he? Who was he? थोड़ा सा fast, थोड़ा सा quickly मजा आ जाएगा. Who was he? He invented the light bulb. Okay. Bulb, electric bulb. Okay. एक चीज आपको और बताता हूँ. थॉमस के दो सन थे. एक सन का नाम था डॉट और दूसरे का था हैश. तो हम जो डॉट और हैश यूज कर रहे हैं, that is also invented by Thomas only. That was non-scientific invention, but yes, that was the invention. So Thomas in his life did more than 1,000 inventions. He had a patent of more than 1,000 inventions. Among them, electricity, the invention of the bulb was one of them. There are a lot of motivated part of his whole life journey. Everyone can learn it out. It's like the whole session can go on learning from Thomas Edison. One of the very important learning, I just wanted to bring it out. I don't want to take much of the time in telling the story. Otherwise, I would have taken you the golden era of your mother sitting next to you and giving you the story, and you are feeling like a best child. So Brown sir has not allowed me doing this because he gave me very limited time today. So let me come to the crux of the learning of them. Thomas, at the age of 10, he was rejected from the school. The teacher made a note to his mother that your son is not actually fit to our class, to our school. He does not carry even the basic intelligence or the learning attitude wherein we can give them the admission or make them to continue in our school. Finally, the letter came to Thomas' mother. So Thomas' mother changed the things in a different mode. Thomas' mother conveyed to Thomas that Thomas, your teacher told that you are a very intelligent child, and you are blessed with so many, blessings, which will drive you to do a lot more than just getting hooked to the school. So Thomas, what I am suggesting you, from tomorrow, you don't go to the school. And then the mother, she was not from the science background. She was not a very, intellectual person. But the mother turned out to be the teacher for Thomas. Whole of the life, she was the source of instrument to give the thought process to Thomas. Later on, one day, when Thomas got this letter, the actually corn turned out to be popcorn. This was that moment for Thomas. Later on, when he was into, some kind of the invention or some kind of the activity he was into, Thomas got this letter. The letter which her mother conveyed other way around. The letter says, "Okay, Thomas, you have been rejected to get admitted or to continue in our school, and so many drawbacks and weaknesses they have mentioned about Thomas, and that letter was actually meant that Thomas, we are actually rusticating you from our school." So when he read the original piece of the writer, his eye went into tears. He felt into tears. He don't know in what way he can hold that sentiment. And that day, that Thomas as a corn turned out to be the popcorn. That day, he felt that whatever I am doing is because my mother as an instrument to me. And that day he decided that I am going to do something which can make a big difference to the mankind. Which I can make a big difference to a mankind. What I wanted to convey as a learning lesson from this wonderful story is, when the school come up with a thought process of rusticating any child, and that too in the foreign countries, definitely there was a lot of deep level brainstorming has gone for it. Right or not? Do you accept me or not? Yes or no? But the kind of the faith and the trust they have carried, who have carried? Thomas' mother, what she has carried, has actually made this Thomas to come up with an invention one after another, which has actually changed the whole scenario of the science what we see today. Same thing we also keep seeing in our daily life also. Some child, a pestering child, in a class of 40, I know today's time, because I am also a teacher. I should say I am not just a teacher, I am a very passionate teacher.
If you permit me.
Yeah, please sir, please.
We begin our session with what really leadership is all about. Try to define what leaders are like. Taking from what Sir just spoke about Thomas Alva Edison, his story and how he grew and his mother made him into what he became. There's another story about how, as a person, he inspired people that even if something happens in life, there's again a beginning. Have you heard about that his research lab, one morning, he got the news that it had been burned down to ashes? What did he say? How did he react?
He reacted.
How did he react? There was a big yes to that fire and ashes, but how did he react is what really inspires others to become what he is and what he was and what he brought to the world. Because that's the important punchline there. What was that?
New start. The new start.
All the mistakes, all the errors, all that went wrong is now into ashes. I can start all over.
Okay. What a perfect example of leading the life. Wonderful.
Let's speak for some time.
Yes, sure.
Sure. I'll do
It goes
that.
off the
Yes.
screen. थोड़ा सा मेरा pressure हल्का हुआ. You can see a smile. Say with the teacher.
Now actually teachers training starts.
Now actually the teachers training starts. It is actually, I don't know, I actually don't wanted to put as a teachers training, teachers workshop. I don't like such kind of the words. It's a very official. I just wanted to make a kind of a sharing session. There is some learning as a faculty of last 18-20 years I have gained, and a small incident I again add up over here. I used to be a very passionate teacher. Most of you know me. I was there in a quota and right in IIT, etc. Right from the top 10 rank we have created. And I was hardcore academician. I used to teach mathematics for IIT JEE aspirants for 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And if you would have seen me that time, and that time I have never thought of, but otherwise I should have taken the clip of my classes. The moment I step out of my class of 1.5 hours, whether it is hot or whether it is winter, you will see completely drenched. Completely drenched. There were many times the teacher says, Ashish, when you are putting this much of energy in the class and you have to take 4 classes a day, 5 classes, each class is 1.5 hours, followed by 15 minutes doubt session. So it's almost 1 hour, 45 minutes. Ashish, how you will going to, carry it ahead? Definitely initial days, it was a little bit challenge. And as a vegetarian, I don't have any external source of, getting some energy. No such things which can give me an instant energy. But then I realized later on, with this attitude, even if I have a fever of say 101 degree, and if someone says me, Ashish, you get into class, I assure you, my fever went off, not because of crossing, because again I get that time of experiencing that warmth and that kind of the energy which I get from my students altogether. So this was all the learnings what we have shared about Edison. I think small incidents, anything, I don't know which is that moment when you feel you became the leader, you decide you become the leader. What is that time when you turn from corn to popcorn? I don't know. For everyone it will be a different, that particular stroke of the time. I don't know. Yes, but yes, with an objective of today's session, how we can make it up some corn to popcorn. Get next. And this is something which I always love telling, love sharing. Ideally speaking, see, please consider me, I am neither your boss, nor I am your, going to spend the time every next day in the staff room, nor I am the one to whom you will come directly and you will talk something good about your colleague, or you will say, kuch burai kare apne colleague. I am not that. I am just your friend on a very neutral ground. Don't consider me ki, I am biased for anything. But actually I am on a very neutral ground with a thought process of sharing and bringing some insights in every one of them. Ideally speaking, if someone would have asked me in the life as a teacher, I still feel a regret that why I am only good in mathematics, why not equally good in physics and chemistry as well? Because in my whole journey of as a teachership, I realized a child, when it comes to class 11, particularly taking science as an example subject, so in 11th and 12th, in 2 years, the child prepared for 3 subjects, physics, chemistry, math, so thoroughly that he turned out to be one of the big successful on the day of examination, that is JEE, and which is one of the toughest exam in the world, as all of us know. Right or not? UPSC is among the first. I think JEE is among the second toughest world exam in the world. And the child cracks the exams just with the preparation of 2 years by making it very strong, capability, increase, enhances capability. A child of 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, in 2 years' time, develop the knowledge, develop that art of cracking the question, do that much of practice. He goes that extra miles and he makes sure that he turn out to be one of the topper in the exam. Yes or no? As a teacher, why we should restrict and limit ourselves to one subject? And in case if we are restricting and limiting ourselves to the one subject, why not? We should be the best in that subject. Why not we should be the best in subject? If we are teaching, say, suppose Hindi literature, if suppose someone is teaching chemistry, if someone has got a job opportunity of social science, why not? When we have to live with this subject for rest of our life, are we going to live with this subject for rest of the life? Yes or no? Do we have the choice? We cannot flicker, we cannot change. Okay, today we will learn science, tomorrow I will go in social science, then next day Hindi, then next day English, and then next day French. We cannot change it, right or not? Probably the school will not going to accept it. In fact, before school acceptance, you will not going to get accepted by yourself. Because if you keep changing so fast, you will not develop that kind of effectiveness in what you are doing. So once we have decided, suppose you have decided that I am going to take English language as the subject, why not it should be one of the best in the world? Why not it should be best in the world? If I am going to teach physics in the class, whole of my life, and the working life usually, the professional life goes not less than 40 years. Start from the age of 20 to 25 and it never get to the end before 65. So when we have to live it for such a long time, why not it turn out to be one of the best in that subject? Why not you learn that art of getting into the subject, get soaked into the subject at so deeper level that every time it gives you that energy, that passion. There was a wonderful, the life example, Sachin Tendulkar, the day when he lost his father, he was on the ground. It's not because of something else. It's because of that, he was so much, like his father is an important part of his life. His subject, his cricket was also an equally important part of his life. Very sorry, but, a big difference I have seen in my life. In fact, I was never been into the teacher's workshop ever. This whole thing came very new in my life. 2018, I don't know from what source it's happened. I used to conduct a lot of student seminars, students counseling, parents counseling. Someone has recommended me to, in the state of Maharashtra, there was a program in 2018, Train the Trainers. Wherein the government has decided to give the trainings to almost 7,000, they call junior college, 11th, 12th for them is a junior college. So they have put that responsibility on my shoulder that Ashish, you will be the front end of this whole program. And I don't know from where to start because I had never been to that role of teachers training or everything. And I was very nervous before I started with. But then they have given me a good time to, do a lot of work. So I started interacting with the teachers, met every day, saw a lot of things I have done. And then I really got an opportunity of training around 7,500 teachers. And then I realized one thing, that sometimes the teachers who are also teaching from last 15 years, 12 years, probably they lack even the basic understanding of the subject. They were lacking completely the basic. See, please allow me to be a little honest with you guys. Can I take that permission from you people all?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm not, my purpose of today's time is just to turn some corn into popcorn. That's all. Nothing beyond it. After the classroom, beyond this, we will be holding the friendship relation forever. I always invite every one of you to be a part of my life. Anytime you want to meet, talk, discuss, something value addition if we can do in this whole process, we are always eager to work in that direction. So my experience in that 2018 session was, what kind of a thing I'm doing? Basically, I'm just churning out few number of the students. There are a lot more to be done at the level when the development of teachers need to be done. I cannot express in the word the kind of the heart feeling I have got deeper into my heart that seeing the faculty teaching from last 15 years, 18 years the subject could not able to match even the basic level of understanding of the subject. He just has picked up this job of teaching, such a huge responsible job, just as a next part of some bread earner of the family. I don't deny that is always there. See, economics, meeting the economic needs of everyone's life is always there. We cannot live without food. We always want a good food. We want a good. I don't deny this, right?
For teachers, we always say teachers by chance and teachers by choice.
Yes.
By choice. इसीलिए अगर आपने मेरा वो देखा होगा, I have mentioned that if anyone says कि you are from Pilani, you did work in DRDO, whatever I did, I always feel my only best introduction is I am a passionate teacher. I don't get second thought to feel the proud moment to be a teacher. In fact, in today's time, like I picked this job of teaching in 2003, just when I passed out from BETS Pilani MTech. That time it was not very common, getting into the teaching. In fact, one thing which I always share to teachers also, if a child of 8 years, 10 years, or say 6 years, on TV, if they see Sachin Tendulkar for 1 hour, and if you ask them that what you want to become in your life, so they will say, I wanted to become Sachin Tendulkar, I wanted to become cricketer. The next day, some another channels play Modi's speech, and Modi is with a lot of energy, he is just, talking to the huge audience. And the child see Modi speaking for some project, something. I don't know at the age of 8 how he will understand that what project, what kind of the social, differences, development he is talking about. But if you ask the child, what do you want to become? So you say, I wanted to become him. Then you say, he is the Prime Minister of our India. His name is Narendra Modi. Okay. There was a time when Abdul Kalam ji came as the head of our country, as a president. In fact, I was very lucky. When I joined DRDO, my second job of my life, I joined the same lab where Abdul Kalam ji was heading it. I was into AD, Aeronautical Development Agencies. We were into the fighter flight jet, design. AD, Aeronautical Development Agency was our task. So. Unfortunately, I could not get an opportunity to work with him, but then the next succeeding person who took over as a DRDO, I got a wonderful opportunity. And when I saw the life of these people very closely, I cannot express my thanks to the God that such a wonderful, opportunity I got in my life. So, when I see this 8-year child, he was full of energy, right? If we see Sachin Tendulkar, he wanted to become Sachin Tendulkar. If we see, Mother Teresa on the screen, he wanted to become the social worker like Mother Teresa. If we see Modi, he wanted to become Modi, right or not? Now, when the child, if you get into the class, and if you ask the student, what do you want to become? They say they wanted to become, क्या बनना चाहते हैं आपके स्कूल के बच्चे? What are the common things you see? If you ask them, what do you want to become? So what they say? Doctor,
After the
engineer,
Chandrayaan astronaut.
pilot,
After
sports
Chandrayaan-
star,
After Chandrayaan astronauts.
astronauts, police officer. But you see, very hardly anyone say, I wanted to become teacher. Why not? You could be that source of inspiration. In fact, if you ask many of the students, would you like to become teacher? So he will say, this is the last thing in the life I'm going to do.
Yes, sir.
Even we don't want our.
I have been fortunate that my 2 students wants to become the teacher.
So perfect. So I was about to come to the same point then. I was about to come to the same point. The leadership is that moment. Suppose you got the ownership of taking class 8 social science, for example, or you got the ownership to teach maths in class 8. By the end of session, if suppose some independent evaluator comes just to interact with the student and they say what you want to become, and if most of the student of your class says, I wanted to become a social science teacher like for example, Sheetal madam, like Sheetal madam. I wanted to become the teacher like Sheetal madam. That is the time when you have popped from corn to popcorn. That is a kind of a success we have achieved in the life. Sometimes in today's professional world, if it is said success, so it is said that success is mostly measured in financial growth. आपके पास कार कितनी है, घर कितना है? अमिताभ बच्चन वाली वो याद है ना? मेरे पास ये है, फिर वो बोलता है मेरे पास माँ है. Time has moved up. From car, vehicle and everything, I tell you, if all of you, from corn to popcorn, you will see the world best car will be yours. The world best bungalow will be yours. The world best yard will be yours. Just don't chase for it. It will come by itself. Because when your students are blessing you, we have an understanding, ideology, कि बड़े छोटे को आशीर्वाद देते हैं, right or not? But you see, in all literatures which is available in plenty, there was not a single literature says that बड़े छोटे को आशीर्वाद देते, छोटे बड़े को नहीं देते. You will never see that. Are you with me? The blessings of the student plays the most vital role in the development of teachers. My father, as a student, when I was in my and I belongs to a very middle class family. My father was into government job. He get posting to different cities, towns, villages. I remember my childhood, and when I see my next generation child, their childhood. One of my younger one is in your school only. When I see them, I feel they are blessed with a lot of the things. When I see today with teachers, I feel they are even blessed with ample of things around. As a teacher, if you go back of 15 years, 20 years back, to get a piece of understanding, one have to first search. And search is not a Google engine, huh? Search means not a Google engine, huh? You have to actually go through a lot of stuff. And you have to identify from where I am going to get this content. That was first challenge. And later on, you have to get that content, and that is how you develop yourself. That is how you make an improvement in yourself. Suppose, for example, in mathematics, I wanted to know how to solve a particular kind of the equations. I got stuck. So what I need to do is I need to pick the source which help me to solve these kind of equations. Then I have to pick that source of equation, that book, that document, that research paper, and then I have to read it, and then I have to learn the art. Now it is very easy, yes or no? So if you feel, I wanted to be the best teacher of social science, I wanted to become the best teacher of physics, I wanted to become the best teacher of literature, there is no limiting parameter for you, yes or no? Just go to YouTube, just go to Google, you will find n number of the resources are already available. Are you with me?
Yes,
The holding thing in your life is you yourself. And if you turn out to be one of the successful teacher, time is very less, but I just share you one more. I was in Kota for a long years. You see, the institutes, various institute which has flourished from Kota. Yes or no? Let me take for the namesake sake. There is an example. I don't bring the real name, but I say it is a Lalan. Okay, so you got the name to whom I am talking about. Okay, so there was an institute in Kota called Lalan. Now Lalan, when I was there, so Lalan was holding few hundred, few thousand students. I was working with Bansal classes, and if ever you get an opportunity to read the life of Bansal class, he wrote a book, a wonderful book, A Life of V.K. Bansal through Penguin House. Huh? It all ends up. I will suggest you please make sure some copies we can get in the library and you can read. It's all add up. V.K. Bansal, Penguin House. It's all add up. It's all add up by V.K. Bansal, Vinod Kumar Bansal, Penguin House. Because I worked with that guy, this person is a legendary in himself. And whatever is written in the book is very correct, is very true. It's not cooked. It's a worth reading. As a teacher, it's a worth reading that piece of book, that piece of article. Every day, 8 hours, he was a paralytic. At the age of 27, he was diagnosed with a disease wherein every doctor in the world said your life will not be for more than 6 months. He tried his passion in teaching, and at the age of 64, he died. Every day his life was 8 hours teaching and 8 hours reading. He was so much passionate for the maths. In fact, I learned to be how to be a passionate in the life, particularly in the teaching. I learned seeing him. Such kind of the energy, if you are driving and if you are infusing in the mind of the student, I tell you, there will never be any limiting criteria. The Lalan was also, it was a shrub. Seeing this, a leader has a skill. When they grow, they don't grow alone. What they do? They make the people also to grow along with them. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So, today I see the Lalan talks about 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 20 lakh students will going to be coached by them. Now my point is, why not we all turn out to be the Lalan? Hello? A small shrub which was just around turned out to be with an instrument of teaching. See, this act of teaching was there hundreds of years back. It will remain as it is hundreds of years from now. The more we are going to change, yes or no? The more we are going to change, but the basic effectiveness, the basic essence of teaching will never going to get diluted. Are you with me? Yes or no? Every teacher, so in case if some teacher, I know there are many teachers who came to the field of teaching by choice. There are many teachers, they came in the field of teaching just to experiment. There are some teachers who came accidentally. And there are some teachers which came forcefully. I don't know in which category you may be lying. But if even 1% of the teacher is saying that why I should take that extra efforts of reading the book, why I should take that extra pain of saying that let my class be one of the best class today, why I should take that extra pain. So don't take it for anyone else, take it for yourself. That is a corn to become popcorn. That is a shrub turning out to be Lalan. This is how the journey everyone follows. Read the background, read the history. You won't find a single successful personality who turned out to be the next successful, particularly in the field of education. Some or the other way, they have actually worked. They have actually counted the blessings of their students. Your students are successful. I'm sure most of you have tasted that feeling. You feel that it is the best day of my life. When the child comes, touch your feet, and nowadays that touching the feet is a little bit considered not. So let it be very practical. But deep inside, they feel that gratitude. They thank you. One of my student, he was Avineet Paricha. There was thousands of students. I got an opportunity, but there are few which is always there in my mind. And nowadays, I am not a regular teacher in the sense I don't take a regular classroom teaching. Occasionally, I do, but there was a time when thousands of students got passed through, and I got an opportunity to mentor them. But there was a student named Avineet Paricha. He was ICSC All India Rank 1. And getting All India Rank 1 in ICSC class 10 is not a joke. It's very tough because all of us know the syllabus of ICSC is far ahead than CBSE. Right? Avineet Paricha belongs to Orissa. That time I was having my education center in Bhilai in Chhattisgarh. So usually it was a time when students from Orissa, they used to come to Chhattisgarh and Bhilai. And we were among the leading institute. So all the toppers usually just they hope to us. So I got an opportunity to get this Avineet Paricha. The first meeting I had with him, he said, because he being as an All India Rank 1, he was like a iconic person among the students' fraternity at that time. So all the TVs and everyone was showcasing him. And when he along with his parent, he took a call to meet me and looking to be a part of my institute. So I was feeling also very glad and happy because in this drive we are always looking for some of those students, some of those personalities which could be a source of motivation and inspiration. Avineet Paricha came along with his father, and I asked him one thing which I never forget at a very young age. This was among very few I saw. I asked him why he wanted to get into IIT. He said I wanted to prepare for JEE. That time it was IIT JEE. So he said, I wanted to do some kind of a noble invention which can make a big difference in the life of people. I wanted to do some noble invention which can bring a big change in the life of the people. And there may be a student who can say such kind of sentence for some temporary, lauding around. But this child, he was with the way he has expressed his eyes, his body, his thought, his word was all resonating together. And there was not even a flip of thought in my mind that what he is saying is not true. And this is the time of 2016. He got into the various prestigious organization, everything. Recently he passed out. So I am continuously in track with him. Even most of the students are also associated with me, but particularly for some student, I always keep a track on them. So recently, in between again, I peep in and I ask, how is the life doing? How is life going? And generally what happens, some thought of one day, over a period of a time, get diluted. You see, with the times, we get an opportunity to grow also, right or not? But there are few visionary people in the life whose thoughts never get flickered with the time, by the change of situation, they never change their thought process. During this last few years, whenever I get an opportunity, I create some story and I just pass it to him. And I just wanted to see, still he hooks to his sentiment of doing some research for some mankind. And believe me, 3 days back I had again a talk with him. He is moving to abroad he came up with the same thought. Now I don't know whether he could be next Thomas Edison, or whether he could be creating some invention which can make a big change in everyone's life. I don't know. But I really wish that it happens. Right or not? Similar thoughts, similar sentiments, with similar ideology, with similar kind of an impact, if we can make it out. Now I wanted a little bit carefulness and alertness. I am a maths teacher. Most of you must have already identified that who is the English faculty here, English teacher? I think Poonam Madam is the English teacher. Yeah. So you must have seen there are a lot of grammatical error I used to commit. But I don't feel regret or never feel, hide about it. The reason being, if you would have seen my childhood, coming and speaking a line of English was not that easy. Yeah. The first time in my life I came to know how to speak English when I got into the college. Because before that, no one has, I could not get that opportunity. So please bear with me in case if some grammatical errors are going up here and there. But now I wanted your full alertness and your cooperation to come to some very crux what I wanted to convey. I see most of the students, if as a teacher at an early age, what is an early age? When the child is coming out of so-called comfort cocoon, someone comes in their class 4, someone comes in class 8, I don't know that. But make sure whether, every one of us can do that, whether the child excel in your subject is a secondary matter. But at least in the thought process, help him to give that thought which can make him from popcorn to popcorn. Let him come up with some thought process in his life. Let him come with some thought process in his life. Help him to get some vision of his life. Are you with me?
Yes.
If a child says, I wanted to become a cricketer, or if a child says, I wanted to become the researcher, or I wanted to become a doctor, please allow him, give him the thought, motivate him, inspire him that, friend, don't just look to become doctor, lawyer, engineer, researcher, but look how you can make a big impact to the mankind. That will open the door of opportunities to him, wherein he will never consider any kind of the challenge as his limiting parameter not to move ahead. Because his thought process is so clear and he is driving himself for such a big cause that he will never going to get stuck at any moment. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
All of us can do that. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
There is nothing called good parenting or bad parenting. There is nothing called good teaching or bad teaching. But a good sentiments is vibe which everyone catches. If your vibe in this profession, noble profession of as a teacher, if that one thought even, if all of us can carry, that make sure every child, when we get an opportunity to connect to them, whether whatsoever class you are into, if you are into say suppose nursery or class 2 or class 3 at an early stage of teacher, make sure, give them that opening in the mind, so that they can have some broader thing in their mind. When the child comes to the middle class, make sure that it grooms up, gives wing to his thought. Give that support. Not just holding a child to become an engineer or a lawyer or a cricketer or a teacher or an artist, whatsoever, but make sure in his path, in his thought, give him that vision which can make some big difference, and his action in time to come can create a big difference to the mankind. And this is one of the big responsibility we all as a teacher need to carry. And I tell you, this is my personal experience as well as in this whole audience of, I think I don't know, around 100, whatever it is. No one will deny the fact that if all of us can carry with that noble thought process of making the changes in the life of the people, by creating a difference in the life of, for generations to come, your small act will make a big difference in their life, and it will also create a big difference in your life as well. It will also create a big difference in your life as well. Because we got the teacher, we became the teacher, but at the same time, we all are parents also. Are you with me? Yes? If we are doing something good to them, we are equally becoming capable of doing good to our child as well. I always say, should we go back? Up. This, yes. Every teacher duplicates. Every teacher duplicates. Now, can you just turn this so that every teacher duplicates strength and weaknesses both. It's a lot more need to be done to make sure the strengths get duplicated and not weakness. And now there won't be any external person who will peep up into your life. Not even your father, not even your mother, not even your husband. It is the one ourselves we have to get a little bit deeper to revive our internal teacher. Because if we are not going to create and if we are not going to do it in the right way of duplicating the strength, I tell you, we are going to do the same blunderous mistake to our child also. Because God has not empowered us कि as a teacher आप कुछ और कर लो और as a parent आप कुछ और कर लो. It is not possible. Your regular action, your regular act plays the most vital role to see how well your next generation is doing. Are you with me?
Yes.
sir.
Again, I tell the same thing. Time is very less, so I have to.
Sir, I want to ask one question.
Yes.
So the question is, according to you,
Yeah.
what are the attributes of a good teacher? Because we all are goals, but we want to be more goal, right? So what is that thought in us?
So there is nothing common thought, there is nothing common word, there is nothing common session. Everyone has their own things. That is what I am saying again and again. Reviving internal teacher. Get deeper into it. You are the best judge. You are the best teacher of your own life. No one can motivate and demotivate you if you don't take that call of analyzing, getting deeper. You know what is good and what is bad. That basics we learn at the very early age of our child. No one else has to come and tell what is good and what is bad. Are you with me? Every one of us knows this. When you get into the class, as I am saying you, when we get into the class, like I am today right now speaking to all of you. Yes or no? Probably you may not going to say anything, but your eyes are speaking everything to me. I can read your eyes. Yes or no? Similarly, you are also experiencing. When you get into the class, your child, your students, they are speaking everything about you. You have to be very conscious that what is that good act I have to do and what is the act which I have to overcome. And one of the important acts which I always feel, now this is a very long time, there are a lot of stories, a lot of the things I wanted to get deeper, penetrate into the mind of every one of you. I got again a pressure, so let me change.
That's when the door was locked, so he doesn't come inside.
But yes, this key essence we should never miss to get as an experience that while duplicating the strength, we should know how to not duplicating the weaknesses. Only the strength need to be duplicated because the same thing, the same lesson. Never miss this important lesson. As a teacher, what you are doing, as a mother or as a father, you are also doing the same thing. If you feel what I am doing to my students in the class, the same act, the same action you will be doing for your own child. If you want your child to grow, I don't need to say what needs to be done. You won't see anyone who will say, no, I don't want my child to grow. Yes. We all want our child to grow by leaps and bounds. Yes or no? The action starts not by changing your child. The action is this karma. This is karma. What you do is going to get returned back. What you do in the class When you are throughout the life in the next 30, 40 years, when you will get an opportunity to interacting hundreds, thousands of students, making and developing the life of thousands of people across you. If you cannot make a change in them, what will make you to get that blessings which can create a change in your older age? Hello? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
You've gone to the old age. Started thinking about. It's like when you turn old, no, and you want to go back and want to relive your life. So they say that I would like to go back and become a baby. You know why? Why? You have a lot of questions.
No restrictions. Ready to learn some carelessness.
If I was to go back and be a baby, why? Come on, mothers. There are less fathers over here, but mothers are more. To get back that smile of that mother of yours. If I was to go back in school and relive my school, so what would that be, and why would that be? Think. He took you to an old age, not to go back and when you turn old and how you're going to be. And that's the time you're going to want all these things happening. Why I say this? Because this is the time and how you're going to live your life. So that you don't have to think about, if I go back again, why would I go back? So as a school child, why would you go back? Go back to the school? Answers, come on. These are all teachers, no? Not basketball, so Santosh. You started playing basketball when you grew up.
The smile of the teacher.
Friends.
Go back and meet those that you met and made friends in school who no longer are there in your dictionary or in your phone numbers. That's what life is all about. So, make it count, live your life, so that you don't have to revisit your life and regret, had I done those, and why do I miss them now? That's leadership. That's leadership as an individual. So inspire others to live that life and see that they live that life and don't miss out on those. That the kids in classroom don't miss out on those. Thank you.
Thank you. Such a wonderful, I don't know, I think this is the moment when corn turned to be pop. And, you know, what a wonderful
But I love
lesson.
corns and popcorns.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such a wonderful. There is always a lot of things to learn, and I'm sure with the sir's experience, I think we are all blessed some or the other way get connected with him. This learning is always, my father used to say, if it is in your way, it is good. If it is not in your way, then it is fantastic. Like, because you get a wonderful opportunity to do a lot of the things. And with a very short and limited interaction with sir, I realized there are a lot of things to be experienced, to be felt. With a new dimension, there's a new thought. So I'm sure you all must be getting that opportunity, and I will also be seeking some time as and when required, so that to take, Now I think, sir, we have a time check too.
Yes.
Okay,
You've got another 15 minutes. Then you.
another 50.
1 5.
15 now.
15. Okay. Now, let me, Shruti, can you come? Let me take this up to here as one of the thing wherein I just wanted to talk as a responsibilities, roles, act of a teacher. And there is a lot more to be done, right? I know every one of you of yours life, there are a lot of such incidents you have experienced. Madam shared one of them, right? So let us restrict right now, valuing the time. Let me come to some different area of my talk, and let me talk on something you all must be feeling and experiencing. Now, I need your consultation for that. If any time you feel I am not in line with your thought, please raise your hand so that it help me to understand. Because it should not happen, my thought process should also become the thought process of your all. Right or not? There may be some variation. But yes, this is what I am going to say, what I am going to speak for next couple of minutes is a common challenge which as a teacher we are facing on a regular interval. Almost every one of us are getting the big pinch of it. What is that? So I am going to first tell the problem, making you to realize that, and then what could be the solution for it. There was a time when we used to go to the school, and it goes without saying that school is a place for holistic development. It is not a place for meeting any individual goal of any child. Are you with me? Yes or no? It's a place for holistic development. It is a place, it is that ground wherein everyone get that source of starting point to fulfill their aspirations. But it is not actually a place to be cultivated to meet a particular single-mindedly some goal, right or not? Because every child come up with their own thought process. Nowadays, see, as a teacher, I very closely associated from last many years with various top schools. At the same time, I have worked with various top brands coaching institutes. So I can easily read the mind of the school as well as of the coaching owner, right or not? There is two things which is going parallelly nowadays. One what they call as the school results and another what we call as cracking some competitive exam. Now, preparing for competitive exam, this is not something new. Post-independence, all of us are witnessing the selection in UPSC to become a doctor. In fact, it was much more difficult in the earlier time what we see today. Because today there are a lot of the source to practice. A lot of books are available. That time, there was very handful number of the things available. But yes, all the students, they have proved it. Yes or no? But nowadays, you see, at a very early childhood, I see right from the class 6th onward or even 5th onward, the child is some or the other way becoming the puppet in the hand of some high commercial driven groups. The moment child get into 5th or 6th class and becoming the puppet in their hand, slowly it goes in a very systematic form of brainwashing. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, I have no reservations or no objections for coaching. It is an act which was there hundreds of years earlier, but I'm sure most of the school teachers, I don't know whether the practice is still holding or not, but in my time, most of the school teachers, as per their wish, they also help the individual child taking some private coachings or something. That's an act wherein the teacher never lose that importance of fulfilling the goal, fulfilling the need of that child. Are you with me? But now in this so-called highly commercial dominated era, at a very early age, child get into that show wherein it is categorized into two parts. One is called rankers and another is called bankers. And 95% of the people are becoming victimized of these bankers. What it is doing is, it is actually spoiling and completely ruining the generations together. See, IIT, I understand, or becoming a CA or becoming a top doctor, one have to go through that hardship. No second thought about it. But do you think right from the class 6th one should start preparing for it?
No.
What is required is from class 6 to class 10, a child develop an attitude how to react with it. After teaching for IIT for so many years, I tell you, if someone asked me what could be the best practice of teaching IIT, if anyone is preparing for IIT, it is a way of living the life. Because when you get some big challenging question, how you react in the life also, every day we are facing a lot of the challenges. We learn how to react with that situation. Are you with me? Now that act, I am completely disagreeing. It's a big socially creating a big impact to the generations together, wherein the child, in the name of few rankers, seeing the posters on some newspaper on some commercial driven act, and the child and everyone is moving behind it. The child is first half into the school, and the second half, equally, the child is blocked into the
Coaching.
Now, coaching is not something new. The day when school started on the planet, the same day coaching also started. The day when school will die, the same day coaching will also die. But it used to be always complement each other. But nowadays, it has turned out to be so commercial and heavily driven act. Ideally speaking, although we are very closely associated with some state government also, and we got a wonderful opportunity to talk to them at a senior IS level, secretary level, etc. When they will going to get alert and when they will come up with some clause of binding them with rules and regulations, I don't know. But yes, this is a very high time to save our society, to save our next generation, wherein we have to make sure that this culture of first half school, second half coaching, spending around 10 or 11 hours, if you talk to any parent, they will say my child is working very hard. But do you think without doing the practice, without getting into the self-study, anyone among this crowd will going to be successful? See, if you are teaching, it is like a car is controlled by two drivers simultaneously. There are two steering and two drivers are controlling the car. In fact, at an early age of my working with various corporates, I realized, because when I was in Kota, as I said, always the teaching was a passion. There are many teachers across, like you, the coaching teachers, they are also teaching with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. There's nothing bad about it. What is something bad over there is the kind of social implication. We always carry this act of teaching with a kind of responsibility of taking every child with us. Whereas in a commercial dominated organization, it is divided into two categories. One is called rankers and one is called are we the people in the society to be counted as a banker for them? But this is act which is going on. So if some value addition, if we can do for the development of child, wherein we can save our child, not to slip into the hand of this super commercial dominated people at the early age of the life, I think that is the best act we can do. At least from class 6 to class 10, we should save them. There could be multiple ways. One way is, as I said in my initial talk, make sure you as an individual level come up to a level wherein no one can beat you in your subject. If a child comes with some challenging question, believe me, always motivate him, because that child is your teacher. He will make you that teacher which the society will look you as a role model. Don't restrict them. Sometimes if you could not able to solve that time, no one can able to solve it instantly. But don't miss that opportunity of learning. You will see most of the child will getting hold with you only. In case still it is not making a value addition in their development, and suppose they feel, because let's not get into that area why the child goes to coaching. It's not only for learning. If learning could be the objective, probably it would not be in the form of a flock-driven game, right or not? But if it is happening, that is very negative impact creating for the development of everyone of us. And this, every year I am seeing the child, some few students reach to the target and 95% of the students could not meet the goal. I tell you one big challenge what the whole nation is facing today. even if the topper, I'm not talking an ordinary, even if the topper of the nation get into IIT, which is one of the premium institute of India as well as in the world, because they have toiled themselves so hard for which they were not supposed to, when they step up into IIT, they consider that place of real learning as the resting place. And now all these distractions are so easily available. Like parent is distracting the child by giving the mobile, whereas the society is also distracting the child by giving all such means which is not meant for them, including drugs. There is a way one have to prepare these exams. 2 years preparation is good enough. But the child has developed a right attitude towards the development right from class 5th, 6th to class 10th. That need to be controlled. Are you with me?
Yes.
Anyone disagree with my thought? All of you agree on this thought? Yes? I think as a social ownership, although I am the alone as of today, but slowly we are also taking it ahead, building a community wherein we can stop this. So as and when I get an opportunity, I reach to the education department and that to an IS secretary level. I just put my sentiments. They agree, they disagree, it doesn't make a difference to me. Whenever I get an opportunity, I always keep talking about it. For you as a teacher, the role, your bread and butter comes from teaching. I as a teacher, I get my bread and butter from teaching. Whether we are a teacher of school or a coaching or whatever, it doesn't matter. But at least at an end of a day, we all carry a sentiment that let it create a big value addition in their life. We have never counted the child as a banker or ranker. But a heavy infusion and the drive has been created, which we need to take some real cause. And that's my act, and I'm looking your support into it. There could be a number of the solution. One of the solution is, can you come to next? Okay, let me take, just I will read it, I'm not going to get deeper, just. More time in coaching will yield better result. मॉर्निंग 8 से इवनिंग 8 तक हम कोचिंग पढ़ाएंगे और हमारा बच्चा आईआईटी चले जाएगा. मैं आपको बताता हूँ, ऐसा बच्चा अगर आईआईटी जा रहा है तो वो भारत का सबसे फ्लॉप इंजीनियर बन के निकलेगा. जिसके ऊपर नारायण मूर्ति एक दिन यही कमेंट करेंगे कि 80% ऑफ आईआईटीएंस ऑफ इंडिया आर नॉट एम्प्लॉयबल. Yeah, because you cannot make the brain to get binded morning 8 से evening 8. At this age, I think that the average age of the classroom right now may be around 30-35. At this age, if we consistently, if someone asks to work from morning 8 to evening 8 for a month, we get to a fatigue limit. Yes or no? How can a child at an age of 16, at teenagers, made to work from morning 8 to evening 8? There may be few child, probably who is very much determined, like Sachin Tendulkar. Perfect for them. They are rankers. But to create that rankers and to build that commercial, ambition, fulfilling that, why to unnecessarily misguide the majority masses? Are you with me? Yes. Knowing is not everything. We all know that self-study is the key. I have given the example of Thomas Edison. This was the objective. Next. Competitive exam preparation affects the school studies and the other way around. It is not. If you see the syllabus of JEE or medical or any top exams which the student appear post 12, you see except mental reasoning, aptitude, rest every syllabus is as per NCERT. It is an unnecessary havoc or a kind of fear has been created in the mind of the people. If you ask me, you give me the child, I will not make him to go for any training or any coaching, etc. And he will be one of the best topper. Abhi हमने देखा होगा recently, I think 3 days back I read in the newspaper कि जो महुआ बनने वाली candidate थी, महुआ you know? No. Yeah, plan that महुआ, the heading was महुआ बनने वाली turn out to be the UPSC topper. Right or not? अभी भी IIT के अंदर 40-45 students get into the IIT. They are from the villages, from the towns. Yes, so let's not create a kind of a unnecessarily havoc to just fulfill the our commercial interest. Yes, definitely IIT and these exams are some challenging. Olympiad. अगर आप 9th and 10th में if someone is preparing for Olympiad, if the child is willing to get into Olympiad, probably they can do it by themselves. There are n number of the source. If there is a teacher by heart, they will not say you first pay me and then I will teach. They will say you come with your doubts. I will feel very happy. Someone come and ask me, I could not able to solve this question. I feel I am very happy. At least he has given me some thought process. He is actually a fodder for me, for my thought process. Are you with me? Let's not create and let's stop holding up the brain in that direction. It's like some Madari is coming and playing with the shot, and we are becoming a bandar to act accordingly. Let's stop it. School is a resting place, and this is where we all are very badly impacted. When the child comes to the school with a full of energy, सुबह नहा के अच्छे से brush कर कूद के with a full of energy with a 8 hours sleep, when he come to the school, the teacher is teaching with full of energy, and you see the child is because he thinks this chapter I am going to leave, I am going to learn it. How to do it, what to do it, I don't know. At an individual, make sure you all step up so that we can hold our child to ourselves, not to such commercial driven. This is again the same thing. I know the concept I will do. Now, all of you know, knowing is not everything. मुझे मालूम है सुबह 5 बजे उठ के योगा करूँगा, दौड़ूंगा, I will be healthy. इससे क्या मैं healthy हो गया? Knowing is not everything. मैं यहाँ पे भी जाऊँगा, I will write the note. मैं coaching में भी जाऊँगा, I will take the note. On YouTube also, you don't have to learn the same concept 10 times. You have to learn one concept by yourself, or from in the school, for what the reason you are coming, and then you have to practice on it. Even if a big challenging question comes to any one of us as a teacher, or the same applicable to the students. When any challenging things comes to them, and if the child has built an attitude, similarly for the teacher has built an attitude, loving that challenge to turn from corn to pop, when you bring your imagination, your creativity, your thought process to turn that corn to pop, that question gets cracked. Are you with me?
Yes.
Why to get a fear about it? Why to run away from that? If the challenging question is coming, the same attitude the child need to develop. If NCERT is asking the question directly on the formula, and IIT is posing a question by creating some kind of the real life, some kind of the application of that question, let the child develop it. It is through practice. It cannot be done by making you to mug up with something, because in that scenario, even if the child is getting into IIT, let me tell you very frankly, very honestly, it is much better to save our child not getting into that race. And I am telling you, although I had created n number of the selections in various top examination, giving the top ranks also, but still I feel always one thing: let the child come with that thought process of coming up, not by bombardment of like a just getting through without having the real essence of learning. One of the solution I am working on, I am just sharing it with you, and I will be taking the feedback. My feedback form is, I think, there. I will be just asking you to just put a line on this. It is called a school integrated program, wherein we are merging the school with the competitive exam. So there could be a different way wherein we can infuse each other, but at least at an end of a day, the school, the teachers, and the students will be the winner. Why? Because if suppose school teacher, for example, ma'am, what's your name?
Pallavi.
Pallavi ji. Pallavi ji, suppose for example, is a maths teacher. She has introduced the maths some concept in the class. What is happening today is, school is teaching some topic A, coaching is teaching some topic B. And this is happening on everyday basis. Very soon the child realizes, I cannot cope up with this kind of the pressure. How it could be? So either he will get completely cut off from the school or get completely cut off from the coaching. But the irony of the story is, you get cut off from both the places. Because you cannot change the attitude. Na? Just like I said, as a teacher, आप सोचेंगे कि as a teacher I will act something else for my student, and for my child I will act something else. God has not empowered with such kind of the mindset. So you cannot, the child cannot manage both the things simultaneously, right or not? So what our main purpose with the school integrated program is, let the objective of competitive exam and how at an early age we can stop child slipping into the hand of coaching institute. That is the purpose. Without making any compromise on their thought, whether without making any compromise on their ambitions and the goal. Because the real fact is, the student, if he get the right kind of the mentorship, not coaching, not teaching, but a right kind of a mentorship, the child can easily turn out to be a successful in whatever the ambition, goal, thought they are carrying with themselves. I just briefly, I just read it for you. I'm not going deeper into it. It is, first thing is to stop brain drain. You see, right now in the society, which is a very common, from 9th or 10th onwards, students go for the dummy schooling. Right? And let me tell you, and if you can just go back and if you evaluate, last 5 years, topper of your school or the school in your vicinity, those who have left school in the name of dummy classes, 90% of them have even ruined the result worse than what
Regular
they used to be. They even have to they used to struggle to get even the basic scores in the school exam also. So let us bring this thought process completely out of the mind that getting into the coaching will make a big difference for very few, but for majority it is creating a very big negative impact. So let us stop the brain drain. Let the bright child, which has been nurtured by us, should remain intact with us, because we know every nerve of that child. That is the reason, no, he has turned out to be good achiever. Because as a group, as a team, as a strength, as a vision, as a support, someone is driving you, right? Yes or no? I know for sure, हर class का जो bright और अच्छा बच्चा होगा, जिसके the one who is carrying the right attitude. Not only the school teacher, but at the same time, the vice principal, principal, the director, everyone knows that bright child. Are you with me? And suddenly a day comes when the child has been nurtured, and it's a time for coming up with the flowers. The child says, it pains hard. Does it pains to you? Does it pains to you? Yes. So we have to stop this brain drain as one of the activity. Bringing education into the single stream, it is the way the education was supposed to be, and it is the way we all have gone through this way of education, wherein there is a one stream, one driver driving the vehicle, not two drivers parallelly driving the vehicle. To fight against the unstructured, commercial-driven coaching institutes. I am not against, I am again coming back, I am not at all against with any coaching, but only thing is, with the mindset of driving it on a commercial interest, I have a big question mark on them. And since I have been there with these organizations at a different level, so the thought process which is going nowadays, it clearly implies it's purely a commercial. Stop this coaching encouragement in our life. And this one solution, as what I suggest, is school integrated program, wherein we can bring it in a one stream, not into two streams. Next. Previous one. This is something I love talking about, because that plays the most important role in life. But the good thing, what I wanted to always speak on this slide is how we can, yes sir, how we can, you can please distribute it. I'm just sharing you one form as a feedback. Just to help me out with it. So I just wanted to know your feedback. One thing is, I'm asking you that, is there anything you have learned today? And if anything you have learned today, and be very honest. If you feel, no, today, the session I have not learned anything, just mention I have not learned anything. If you feel you have learned anything, so in the next line I have asked you, what is your action plan? I will be very happy to know and to see some kind of a drive if I can create it. So that is one of the points which I wanted to take it from you. Okay, can you come to the next? So I have already covered this point in my talk. That when we talk about the blessings, it is not that the teacher is blessing the child, right? You have to always count blessings of the student. Do good. All act of your good thing will be having blessings in your life. Next. The previous one. Now, this is again a very important message I wanted to give. Many times we feel that, today the child, they are not giving that kind of the gratitude the way we used to give gratitude when we were in their age. Do you feel so?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Do you feel so?
Yes.
Only 2, only 3, only 4. Do you feel so?
Yes.
Okay. So it starts from you. You also make sure if any of your colleague is a mode of inspiration to you, you put your gratitude. If you find some learning opportunities coming on your way, you feel gratitude. If when we say a child need to give that feeling, that sentiment of gratitude to their teachers. So you are also having the teachers in your life. Hello?
Yes.
If you are a teacher, does not mean you don't have a teacher. If I am a parent, doesn't mean I don't have a parent. If we are giving the gratitudes, probably this will what we will going to transform in this generation. They will see you and they will also start giving you that respect. Whether it goes to your colleague, whether it goes to the top management, whether it goes to your parent, whether it goes to your teacher, but make sure if some good learning has came in your way, just feel that thanks, convey that thanks. Make sure as a gratitude, give that kind of a respect to you. Next. And this is how we always see. Whatever inputs you are giving to us in that one, because time is less, so I think even if you write 1 line or 2 lines, that is a big thing for us. So that is the asset. If the session is good, you can bless me. If you don't find it interesting, please don't curse me. Right? But if you find good, I count your blessings. And your feedback is something I always look ahead to explode more in my life. So a single line will make a big impact in my life. So I'm looking for a good thought process from your side for putting that single line. You keep writing and I end up with a small incidents. How I got connected to Golden International. It is not a long-term association. Few months back, I just got opportunity to meet first time with Gopal Agrawalji, your visionary leader. The time was very limited, but somehow the meeting turned out to be a little lengthy and we have spent almost 2.5 hours. Speaking with him, I realized one thing, that when the owner of an organization, because I'm into this field of education, so I get an opportunity interacting on a regular basis to various educationists. Next day I took a call that I am switching my admission for my younger child from some X school to your school. But I just again wanted a second independent opinion. So my wife Shruti, she's also an educationist. So I didn't say anything. I just said, Shruti, I have got an opportunity interacting and going to Golden International. Why don't you go tomorrow and just see how well it suits for our child? She came to Golden International and I asked her, I gave her a homework that you please explore it thoroughly because I want a complete review on yours. So when she came back, she stamped on my thought. The third day, we decided to pick Golden International. So this is how my first interaction happened with Gopal. Then as a parent, in one of the parents' meeting when I was moving out of the corridor, someone said that there is a new principal in our school. Although my child must have conveyed it, but she usually convey all such school activity to her mother, not to me. So probably she may be knowing it, but I was not aware, and I was just on the way. And then it happens, I got an opportunity to talk to your another visionary, I should say superpower, with Mr. Brown. The best thing what I see in my child is, whenever she come home, she never say it's a principal. She says Mr. Brown. So the first thing I ask her, why you say Mr. Brown? But deep inside, I realized the kind of the support structure it is coming to all the students, and I'm sure the same is happening with you as well. There is a child, I think my child, she's 10 years. In 10 years, she feel that openness to go and say it's Mr. Brown, that she can speak to Mr. Brown. So I actually tell you, there are not many schools, many students get such opportunity with that kind of the openness to talk, to drive. And in the last few days, with the thought process sir took, that how we can empower, and he thinks a lot of, I'm sure he must be doing a lot of the things, and at the same time he is thinking a lot for the development. So he said, Ashish, I have a limited time, if you can. I said, perfect, fine, let me go ahead with it. So the another good thing that I feel altogether in the Golden International is, undoubtedly your leader, Gopalji, the director, your principal, so you are in the car, which is very, which is for sure will drive you to the good success. It's a wonderful team, it's a wonderful organization. And today when first time I step up into your conference room, I tell you one more thing. I have seen even, there are some schools, could be even in dimension and everything will be much bigger. But this conference hall is one of the best conference hall in the school I have seen. And nevertheless, the kind of audience I have today in my hall is something it will never make me to forget it. Right? So you really deserve a good round of an applause. And
It's what you sow shall resonate, shall reflect, shall create that aura.
That are, absolutely. And, I'm very much thankful to each and every one of you for spending 2 hours with me without making or without losing the interest. So I'm very much thankful for your patience, and I will be very much thankful to you for the rest of my life. If any value addition in this time if has added up in your life, and if someday if you can implement it in your life, this is something I will be always looking for.
Poonam?
Just the last slide,
Okay,
and
last
I'm
slide.
finishing now. Okay. If any time any one of you find any challenge, neither I am your boss, neither I don't think ever any school will make me principal.
We don't have bosses. We don't have bosses over here.
So, yeah, absolutely. So it will never happen that you and me will ever get connected, So anytime if you feel I could be an instrument to make some change in your life, you are always welcome. You can always reach me, and Arise Academy Global is the platform, and either on the website or on the whatever the way you wanted to pick it up, you can always reach me. And sometimes if you come across any kind of a challenge, because when the student goes for different time, as an individual we also go to a very, life is not smooth always. Anytime if you feel I could be a source of support to any one of you, you are most welcome. And by this, I wanted to convey my once again thanks to the director, to the principal. Special thanks to Udita ma'am as well as Poonam ma'am. They were from last 2 days gearing up, making all the arrangements so that all of you remain, in a very comfort, and it should go without having any disturbance. So thank you very much, and wishing you a wonderful teaching career in your life. Thank you very much.
Ashish sir and Shruti ma'am. As personally, I believe that one should always remain a student throughout his or her own life.